response. There you go. Okay.
All right, it's 3:45, we're out of executive session. Action from the executive session is Christine and the chair of the VCBB, me, Patty Richards, will meet with June Tierney to discuss staffing of the VCBB. Okay. The last item on our list is the parking lot.
Okay, I'll do a quick report on the parking lot. In the case of overbuild, what we're saying is, it's pretty clear, 20, no more than 20% can be incidental. And any point-to-point fiber that's run to serve an area that doesn't have drops is
So
not
this is going to be addressed next time in the document.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just do a,
RDOF counting will be addressed in the document next time.
1018.
1018.
1018, that's right.
1018, we'll address RDOF.
Okay, so that's in the construction plan, RDOF.
Guidelines and policies we're working on now. That's the 18th as well. We did some work.
This is partially what you're working on in this document, but we need the whole list that was from that I gave you
a month ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you can go back to that
I'll
list.
go back to that. So I haven't looked at it.
Okay. June 1, and I just took a picture of the old list, so I don't even understand some of these.
Well, we were discussing that today too. That was a
June 1 formulas and allocations for construction. This is about funding allocations.
Yeah.
So we've taken care of this because we gave you feedback that this is not formulaic for construction. It's about the cost of the construction until we get around to round 2.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
we talked about geographic. Okay.
Business plans, we've asked for updates on those business plans. So I would leave it on the list. It's really, CUDs need to submit their revised business plans.
With the construction grants.
With the construction grants, yes.
Okay. So we haven't really talked about that. It'll be next time too.
Yeah. The dashboard, that gets into the agenda for next time. I want to have, Agency of Transportation gave me a presentation on how they do their dashboard. I think ours should mirror theirs. So I do have a recommendation on dashboard.
Construction dashboard? What do you mean?
Yeah, they've thought this out, how to do this.
So is that going to be like on the 18th?
The 18th, I like to do an 18th presentation, have them come in on the 18th and do the dashboard. We'll fit that in the agenda.
Will we have any grants to consider or RFPs?
Probably.
The 18th will certainly have some.
So you're probably not going to get to this.
Yeah, I'm
That's
afraid.
my guess. I think that
I'd
might
like to
be.
Yeah.
CV fiber just emailed.
Well,
us
make it
about
10.
so.
Okay.
That gets us into 11, but
So it's whatever that first November.
Whatever first November.
It's the first.
that's important, but not urgent.
Financial controls. What does this mean?
That was a discussion about financial controls being provided at the CUD level versus the state trying to provide. I think we closed that by saying the state should not be providing financial controls to the CUDs.
Right. So we ended up here.
Yeah, I think Will agreed with that. And Maple's application reflected that.
And then we just have a grant criteria that says, yeah, they're doing funding control. They're doing appropriate control.
Showed evidence of adequate.
Bond market objectives. Everybody wants to hear from Stan Williams. Couldn't find a better author of this discussion than Stan or Paul Giuliani.
Anderson.
Oh, okay. That's not a person I know.
He's the actual
Guy.
bond.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got him written down to me, but so that'll be a future meeting as well.
So yeah.
Future meeting.
It notably, in my mind, it's difficult to do the construction RFP unless you have this in mind, because that's the end game. It's just like this condition that we, default revert the assets to the state, to non-starter potentially, right? So that we don't want to do anything in the construction grants that trigger up something that won't be fundable on the bond market. Just So you might want to target that for 11-1 also.
Okay, put it up there.
I don't know.
That's probably,
Or
that's probably a
11:15.
priority over the dashboard, so
11-1 or 11-15.
we'll make that 11-1 and we'll see, we'll move. I'm saying we'll push the dashboard out before we
This is
push
in
it.
process.
That's in process. Budget, I'll be prepared to present, and I'd like to present on October 18th.
I think
It'll
with
be
the
one
bond,
busy
we can just-
meeting.
With the bond issue, we could also ask them to provide written feedback in advance. That would be helpful for us going through it. So putting that call out to Stan, Jim, and Paul Giuliani, if you're all listening, we would love to hear your opinion on this even sooner than later.
Well, it's not just that one provision. It's like, what are the key ingredients we have to ensure that are the characteristics of the finance network to ensure that they are fundable?
Yes.
I mean, simple things have to be municipal owned, No, but we're not here to create those criteria because that's not what we do. But we need them.
That we can turn around.
List of,
No CUD towns. We'll call that, we'll do that by next week, 10-11.
See which one we're looking at. Oh, yeah.
That's easy.
10-18.
yeah, we'll go over it. Policy, this was what Magna called up today. Policy for material default. Now this one to me
What's material?
kind of goes, these two kind of go together.
Yep.
One big discussion.
Invite them to speak on both.
And then you had mentioned, Laura, capital funding bill.
State.
Well, I'll have to give you an update on the 18th. Right now, the last time I went to the website, they didn't have the requirements, so I'll figure out what they have. I'll figure out.
Yeah, I don't understand that process. This is new to me. I don't
It's a
know
new
what that is
process.
at all.
It's new.
Some of us have no clue what it is.
Yeah, and I'm sure this was on Tim's radar. It was not on my radar.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if this is what the agreed upon additional 100 million was,
Yeah, I don't
or
either.
if it's some other funding.
Yeah.
And Tim's not in town this week,
I'll call
either,
them.
so it'd be good to talk to him.
So actually, we can say that one's done. Is this actually done? Do you have a recommendation of how to do RDOF counting? I don't recall that we
yeah,
need a
we're-
policy.
No, I think the recommendation is pretty simple. We were going to include that with all the other funding. It's not,
Are we considering areas with RDOF funding, having a plan for those locations? No.
No.
yes, we're going to expect the CUD to, the
This is
CUDs,
why I'm calling it up.
the CUDs are going to include those in those plans as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the CUDs are not considering them served.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right.
I'm thinking
I'm sorry.
plan that has a plan.
Yes.
means it's
This would be
served.
included in their plans, and what I'm suggesting what I suggest to the board is we count that like any other funding. What Rob and I have talked about is we're going to allocate funds, but we've already addressed that we want to, in their construction funds, they want to talk about the other sources of funding that exist. So they're going to talk about RDOF as another source of funding, and how they're dealing with that to serve. But the RDOF is still part of their universal service plan.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yeah, they need to confirm with the RDOF awardees what's gonna happen and what's not gonna happen.
Yep.
It's not every RDOF awardee is gonna build.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Not every RDOF winner is gonna tell them if they're gonna build.
That's true. Makes it even more interesting.
And we've done this one. Okay. Thank you for the progress.
All right, I think we are wrapped. Is there any other,
I'm going to take, I will take a picture of it.
are there any other items to discuss? Motion to adjourn? So moved. Thank you all.
Thank
We will
you.
see you
Thank you.
on the 18th of October.
Yes.